I'm about to blow your mind because I blew my mind last night. I'm doing this video on Tuesday morning, which means I discovered this Monday night. Facebook knows everything about you. They know literally everything about you. And you don't even necessarily have to have a Facebook account for them to know about you. But if you have a Facebook account, you need to go check your privacy settings. I'm someone who thought that I had set all my privacy settings. I can't be searched on Facebook, so unless you know someone who knows me and you see it and you decide, hey, let me go see if I can maybe follow this guy, you can't find me. I'm not searchable. My birth date doesn't show anywhere. So you really can't find me unless I want to be found. And a few other things that I thought I had set up that I said, okay, you know what? I'm pretty well protected. I use Firefox, and they have this thing that's called Facebook extension. So what that means is that anything that Facebook is directly connected to, such as your blog, or maybe you have an account on a certain website or whatever, it's now blocked. If those sites send information to Facebook, then you're safe, supposedly. The reason I say that is because last night I got on the phone, the smartphone here, and I got to Instagram. I've always liked Instagram. I like adding pictures. I like seeing pictures of friends, that they're putting up, and we just have our little collegial relationship with each other. It's only about 200 people, and I've been on there since, well, at least 10 years, I'll say. So, it's a small group of people. So I go on last night, and last week I tried to set something up where I wanted to send a picture that I was putting on Instagram to Facebook as well. I used to have that on my other phone when I had a phone like early last year. And so I went to do that, and it just looked convoluted. Something didn't look right. Still, I posted it. I said, go ahead, send it to Facebook so I don't have to tell the story twice. And it never went over to Facebook. And I hadn't really thought much about it. So I get on Instagram last night, and I had put a picture up earlier in the day that I also wanted to share to Facebook, and it never transferred over. But I got this weird message saying something about, we have sent your birth date to Facebook, because Facebook owns Instagram. And I'm thinking, well, what's that about? They already have it. Does that mean you've now made it public so that when my birthday comes up, it's going to tell everybody? I've already said private. I don't want that to happen. So I decide I'm going to go look at my privacy settings. So the way you get to that is that if you look at your Facebook page, on the top right, there's an arrow. Top right, you click on that, and that is now all your different settings. And it opens up saying something about security and privacy. So at least I went to the first one, the very first thing up there. And yes, indeed, my birth date is still private. The link to my Facebook page, however, was interesting in the fact that Instagram decided when it was going to create a link to my Facebook page so I could post stuff, they're sending it to my business page, because I had a business page on Facebook 2 years ago. I closed it out 2 years ago, but it's still showing up somewhere. I can't access it. No one else can probably access it because I shut it down. It turns out you don't ever really shut down anything. Facebook keeps stuff. Once you stop, okay, we're not going to do anything from this point on, but we're keeping everything else. Then I decided, well, wait, there's this other thing under here that talks about privacy checklist. I said, well, let's go see what that's all about. And that's when things got really illuminating, because it turns out that not only are there websites on your browser, depending on where you are, that may be sending information to you that you thought you had blocked, you got apps. So Fitbit sends them information through the phone, not through the computer, through the phone. MyFitnessPal, which I stopped using in November, had been sending information. Goodreads, IMDb, Voodoo, the movies Anywhere. All of those folks If I was using the smartphone, it was sending that information to Facebook. Amazon. Now, it turns out that I access Amazon through the browser, but it's not a direct link to Facebook, so there's no blocking that. I had no idea. And what got me interested in that, or thinking about it, is that I play this game on Facebook called Lexulus. It's actually a version of Scrabble. I had seen the Scrabble game way back in the early 2010s. I didn't like the look of it. And I went through a bunch of different types of games, and then I found this one called Lexulus. I've been on that one, well, goodness, at least 6 or 7 years, maybe even longer, I don't know. But I found out wrong. I started looking at it, and I noticed that it was giving me these ads that were about the socks. You know that video I did last week where I talked about the heat holder socks? That ad was coming up at the bottom and at the top of Lexulus. And I'm like, how the devil are they getting that? Because Amazon. And you know what else? I started to notice that on Instagram, I keep getting ads for stuff that I might have, scrolled through. Every once in a while I've looked at something, different products, whatever. For instance, that signature popcorn video I did and one I did about Bang. Well, it turns out that those were things that I actually saw on Instagram first and decided to take a look. And that goes directly to Facebook. And I hadn't really thought much about it because every once in a while I'm scrolling through Facebook and then it'll say, hey, do you want to tell everybody your experience with this? I'm like, how did they know that I did that? Because of Instagram. They're hooked up to it. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to start getting rid of these things. And early on, I knew all of the places where they had sent it. Goodreads, yes. You get to go in and say, okay, stop this. Don't get any more information. But then it tells you, okay, this is my wording of it. We're going to stop getting that information from them. However, we're keeping everything that we already have. And they even tell you so that they can match you up with ads that they believe are things that you want. Still, I start going through. It took me 25 minutes. Why did it take me 25 minutes? Because there are websites you go to that you don't realize that their cookies are sending information to other entities so that they can find ways to market to you on your computer, on your tablet, on your smartphone. And a lot of these places I had never heard of. It was just a bunch. Like I said, it took me 25 minutes to get through all of them because you can't just do it as a group thing. You have to do each one individual. And some of them, it's one or two things that they've sent. So maybe you just checked on something and said, nah, I don't want that or whatever. But then there's some other things like, well, okay, Fitbit. It's been going on there for at least 3 years. And I'm saying that because actually it's got over 1,000 hits that have been transferred to Facebook from Fitbit. MyFitnessPal was over 1,000. I've been on MyFitnessPal since 2014. Matter of fact, that's when I signed up with Fitbit. They've got all this stuff that they've been sending to Facebook. I don't know if it's intentional that they're sending it to Facebook, but I think it probably has to be. And I said, my goodness, I had no clue. So, like I said, it took me 25 minutes to delete all this stuff. Here's the thing. Just because those folks are no longer going to be sending stuff over doesn't mean that there's not other websites that I'm going to visit that are going to continue sending stuff until I check it. I thought that I had pretty much saved myself from a whole lot of stuff, by using Firefox, by using that Facebook extension, but it turns out they have found a way around it. And there's really nothing you can do. I can add an app that's called uBlock, but even that has limitations. It says, yes, we will send a lot of stuff out, but we can't block everything because there's always new things coming out. You can't block it all. They know everything about you. You can hide certain stuff from other people so that they can't track you, but Facebook's got you. And that's disappointing. Even Twitter. Now, I use an app on my smartphone, so it's not Twitter itself, but that app is connected to Twitter. And so they get certain information from the app that I have on my phone and on my tablet. What do you do? You know, the best you can do is you can go in and hide certain stuff. Like I said, I'm not searchable on Facebook. I'm good with that. I went in and changed, which is problematic in a way, but I decided I was going to go ahead and do with it. I decided to block my business phone number off of Facebook. Now, I'm self-employed. You never know if I get a business call because someone found what I do for business and decided to, you know, call me. I blocked my business phone number and I blocked my business email because I don't know if all the spam I've been getting and all those robocalls I've been getting are from Facebook or not. But it just gets you wary. And you think, I've protected myself as much as I can. I got a firewall program. I'm not getting a VPN. I don't even know if that will stop everything. But I'm telling you this because I want y'all to go in, if you have a Facebook account, hit that arrow, look at your privacy settings, and then look at what has been tracking you and make your determination. Who don't you want them to have information on you? Like I said, if they've already got it, they're keeping it. They're not getting rid of it. Which is the same for a Facebook account, for instance. If you decide, okay, you know what, I'm done with Facebook, I'm killing it, they keep all your information. They told you that up front. You can fuss all you want to, but they can say, wait, did you read the terms? You know you didn't read the terms. I didn't read the terms. They're like this big. Who reads all the terms? I looked through some of them, but I joined back in, what, 2008, 2009? So no, I didn't read all that stuff. Facebook wasn't what they are now way back then. Back then you had to have a college email address to join Facebook. And I did. Yeah, I'm an older guy, but I'm an alumni and I donate money. So I had a college email address. Whew. You know, I am kind of a privacy guy. It sounds weird saying that because I do videos, but I like to think I'm in control of what I put out. And I still am because I don't tell everything, but some of the stuff that they're telling, And I know I can't be alone. I bet some of y'all have got the same thing going on. So let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know, did you go to Facebook and did you check and did you see how many ways they are getting information on you, and did you stop it? Or did you just say, you know what, this is way too much. I ain't got this kind of time. That's what I got. Y'all let me know. And if you like this kind of thing, think about subscribing. Send a friend. Matter of fact, if you got a friend who's all over Facebook and they love it, make sure they see this video. Tell them, you know, y'all go check your stuff and see how they're tracking you. Because they're tracking you whether you're on Facebook or not. Y'all take care.